Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. I'm Lynn Hall, Mayor of the City of Prince George, and I just want to welcome you here and thank you very much for taking some time. It doesn't seem like a lot of numbers in this room. We have folks down at CNC, and we have folks, quite honestly, all over the province who queued in to watch the telecast 2 days ago. I want to introduce the people that are here with me this evening. MLA Shirley Bond is here from Prince George Valemount, MP Todd Doherty, Prince George Cariboo. We have Vice Chair of the Cariboo Regional District, Steve Raper is here from Northern Health. We've got Art Kane here, Chair of the Fraser Fort George Regional District, Albert Kohler, Councillor, City of Prince George, and Jim Martin, CEO of the Fraser Fort George Regional District. So one of the things that I want to say quickly and first off is that Mark Ham, who presented a couple of nights ago, is not available this evening. The reason Mark isn't is because he's a resident of Williams Lake, and Mark is being evacuated this evening with his family. So we will be in constant touch with Mark over the next couple of days. Rob Van Adricum, our Director of Communications, is here this evening, and Rob will be in touch with him to try and set something up so that we can get Mark back on via teleconference to give us an update from his perspective, and he is the key guy. So we depend on him a lot. So our best wishes are going out to Mark this evening and his family, and we'll be in touch with him tomorrow. So first of all, I'd like to call on Steve Raper from Northern Health to say a few words. Thanks, Steve. Come on down.
I'll be brief. Just want to give everybody the update and make sure that they're well aware that we have opened additional spaces for people for health services. There is a health service management clinic at the College of New Caledonia. It is open from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and 24-hour nurse availability. So it's right at the Evacuee Center, and there is a shuttle bus that runs from the Northern Sports Center down there as well. So that is a place for evacuees, whether you're staying in the center or anywhere in the community, that you can go to get medical services right away and up as quick as possible. There is also the Nechako Medical Clinic. The Division of Family Practice has been working, the physicians have been working, and they've extended the hours to that, Monday to Friday, 1 to 9 p.m., and then open till 7 Saturdays and Sundays. So again, there's another resource if you need health services. And the Salveo Medical Clinic in the Real Canadian Superstore is also open during the day. So there's a number of clinics available, and of course emergency if you're if you need emergent care, by all means call 911, and that's available as well. But we wanted to make sure that people are aware that there are outreach services that we're trying to locate close to where the evacuees are, so that you have those services available to you. I will be here after this if anybody has any individual questions, but I just wanted to make sure that that information is out and in your hands. It's available on the web, and it is linked to the Prince George Evacuee web page, so all of that information is there. So thank you, and if you have any questions, I'll be here afterwards.
Great, thanks very much, Steve. And again, I want to apologize that some of the information that you are probably seeking this evening around Williams Lake, we're just trying to get as much as we can. Things have happened very quickly in the last 2 or 3 hours, and we have a meeting that's happening right now with our emergency operations team and the provincial team to get an update. So as quickly as things are happening, we'll try to get that information out, and I'll be meeting with Rob a little bit later this evening with our team to try to get that pertinent information out to everybody. So now what I would like to do is just talk a little bit about what's happening here in Prince George from our perspective and what's happening on the ground at CNC UNBC. I want to talk for a moment about emergency social services. The reception center is providing evacuees with meals if they are without food or food preparation facilities, clothing, blankets, and toiletries, temporary lodging if they are unable to find lodging for themselves, and assistance finding and reuniting with loved ones. We've had some questions about group lodging and how it works. Group lodging, a safe place where people can go to sleep and eat, receive specialized care, including multicultural services and transportation, health services such as first aid and emotional support. The ESS has extended services to evacuees to streamline the process and lengthen the time evacuees can access service. Evacuees who registered with ESS were provided services for an initial period of 6 days, with the first period ending tomorrow, Sunday, July 16th. After this period, evacuees will need to complete referral forms but not the full registration package. And we're going to extend services for an additional 14 days, and this is a key piece. And I want to thank Minister Bond, Minister Stone. We've worked over the last couple days with them and the local agency here to determine how we can extend these vouchers and evacuee ability to have some funds after tomorrow. So we're able to streamline the process. It's not a complete registration package, and we are, and we've been given the opportunity to extend that for a 14-day period as opposed to 3 or 5. So I think that's going to relieve some, some strain, certainly on evacuees. It's going to, I think, loosen up some resources for us to deploy them elsewhere. After this period, evacuees will need to complete referral forms, but not the full registration, as I said again, and we would release again another 14 days. Billeted evacuees can go to the reception center. For those in hotel and group lodging, ESS teams will be coming to the locations to update the forms. So we have an idea, obviously, of where folks are staying in hotels. So we'll have our ESS teams go out to those locations so there won't be a need for you to come back to CNC and go through the process. We'll do it one-on-one. And for questions, please contact ESS located at the college, 333 22nd Avenue. So we've got, I think, Rob, we have that number on the website, or do you want folks to, the number is on the website for ESS. Website, Rob? princegeorge.ca /Cariboo evacuation. Okay? So we've got some better news today around some of the shipments we were waiting for from Disaster Aid Canada. They arrived today in Prince George with a shipment of nearly 600 hygiene kits. These include toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, towels, socks, underwear, and T-shirts, and other important items, toiletry items. The kits were delivered to CNC in the Northern Sports Centre late this afternoon, so those are available to evacuees. Another shipment is expected from Disaster Aid Canada, arriving on July 21st. And I'd like to thank the Nechako Rotary Club here in Prince George for the work they've done to make sure that we've been able to put those kits together. For those of you who are particularly concerned about your insurance, you may have seen that we've established a section of Prince George Senior Secondary School, which is on Highway 97, directly across from CNC. So there you're going to find that the Insurance Bureau of Canada has organized insurers to set up tents and stations at the laneway in front of the Prince George Senior Secondary School. And as I've said, it's across the street from the College of New Caledonia, just a short walk. So the services that will be provided there are for people who, obviously, if you've lost your home, if you've lost personal items, it's an opportunity for you now to start to take a look at starting the process to get a claim started. Insurance providers are on site. They include Intact Insurance, Wawanesa, SGI Canada, and Hub International, and they provide a number of important services, including setting up new claims, as I said, and issuing emergency evacuation checks. These insurers set up for the first time today, and most will be there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. starting tomorrow. So that's the piece that's important as well, is that they have committed to being here in Prince George for as long as necessary. If your insurance provider is not among them, you can go there for help to find out the location of their nearest location. And for further information, you can contact IBC Customer Information Center, and I'll give you that number. And it, too, is on our website, Rob, I'm assuming? Okay, perfect. It's 1-844-227-5422, or an email address is askibcwest, W-E-S-T, at ibc.ca. Shuttle buses are being provided by the City of Prince George between the Northern Sports Centre and the College of New Caledonia. These buses run all day, every half hour between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. and hourly between 7 p.m. and 11 a.m. Those wearing a wristband provided to all evacuees during registration are able to ride the shuttle bus for free. PG Transit buses are also free to evacuees wearing their wristbands. And if you have any questions regarding that, we have folks here, I think, this evening that can answer some of those questions around the transportation and logistics on how you get to those various locations within our city. So Mark isn't here, as I've said. So what I would like to do now is, if I could just ask folks to come up and say a few words. And Shirley, I think I'll start with you, and then we'll go to Todd, and then over to John to say a few words. And if you have specific questions this evening about Williams Lake and the evacuation order, we would be more than pleased to take your name and get back to you. But tonight, to give information out without Mark here, specifically from pre-op, is very difficult for us. And as I said earlier, those meetings are continuing. So if we have any updates, we will, through social media and our Facebook and our website, get that information out to everybody, okay? So Shirley, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you very much. We want to start by, first of all, reflecting on how difficult these days are for all of you. And today we received news. It wasn't the news we were hoping and praying for, and as we now know, the City of Williams Lake is now under an evacuation order, and I completely concur with Mayor Hall. The specific details are evolving, as you can imagine. Evacuees are being given specific directions about how to travel, and everyone is working as hard as possible to keep people safe. So we want you to know how much we care about all of you and how difficult this must be. Details will evolve, as the mayor said, as we sort out the movement of people this evening. But we know that the City of Prince George, under the leadership of Mayor Hall, all of the levels of government are working extremely hard to make sure that we're prepared. Obviously, so is the City of Kamloops and everyone in places in between. So we also are very grateful today. As you may or may not have known, a helicopter went down today while they were fighting the fire, and we are incredibly grateful. The pilot will be okay, and that in and of itself is something to be unbelievably grateful for. So, as difficult as it is for all of us, I hope that tonight one of the things we'll stop and think about are the men and women who are on the front lines, literally coming from across our country, our province, to try to keep our people, our property, our pets, our province safe. So I'm sure that the mayor will be back to you with specific details as they emerge over the next 24 or 48 hours. But we want you to know how much we care and how much work is going on behind the scenes to make sure that the people of Williams Lake will be cared for as they now leave their city. So thank you for the time, Mayor Hall.
Great, thank you very much, Shirley. And now I'd like to call on our MP, Todd Doherty.
Well, today has been a trying day for all of us. If you are from Williams Lake and have friends and family in the Cariboo area, today is a tough day. I spent the last probably 5 hours speaking with folks that have stayed behind, family members, friends, neighbors that have stayed behind out west. And I have to tell you that it's absolutely horrifying what I'm hearing. I know that they're safe. I know that they're staying behind to make sure that our properties and their friends and their families' yards and farms are looked after. It has been a very fluid situation. It's an incredibly volatile situation, as has been said before. I'm not sure I can say much more that hasn't been said already. But there is a process, and there's a plan in place. And I ask you, if you are talking to your family, if you're talking to your friends and your neighbors in the Williams Lake area, as I am, still trying to get my mom and relatives out of that area, very stubborn, it's very stressful. We need them to evacuate. We need them to be safe. We need all of you to be safe. And I ask you tonight, as we sit here and as we leave this room, we will get more information as we move forward. But I ask you to say a prayer for the men and women that are fighting the fires on the front line, those that have been left behind. And I want to send words of encouragement to Mayor Cobb as well. If any of you saw the newscast at 6, it was heartbreaking. It's a gentleman that has done everything that he could to stay with his community, to make sure that he is there with the community, even at times putting a fire out as some hooligans lit it earlier this week, and he had a garden hose out. He's doing everything he can. And the look of defeat on his face was heartbreaking. But I have to tell you, the work that Mayor Cobb, the work that Mayor Hall, that our volunteers, we have thousands of volunteers out here right straight throughout our community. What they are doing is unbelievable. And for that, I'm thankful. We are safe. The pilot that went down in the Chilcotin is safe. There's been no loss of life. We can replace structures and we can replace property, but we cannot replace our loved ones. And with that, I want to thank you guys for being here, and I want you guys to be safe, and I want you guys to send that message to your friends and your family. There's a process in place. Now it's not the time to panic, but we do need to leave. And with that, God bless. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Todd. And now, John, come on up. John is the Vice Chair of the Cariboo Regional District.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. Our Chair, Al Richmond, asked if I could come up tonight to update all of you on the situation there. But since I left home 2.5 or 3 hours ago, my planned update has obviously changed. So all I can really say is that the most up-to-date information is available on our website, cariboord.ca. We'll give you a full list of the evacuation alerts and orders that have just come out, a lot of them later on this afternoon and this evening. But suffice it to say that pretty much 2/3 of the Cariboo Regional District, the southern 2/3, is either under evacuation alert or under evacuation order. So a lot of those people will be heading south from Williams Lake and areas around it, down through Little Fort and south. Some of them will probably be coming up here. We just want to thank you again for all the hospitality that you've shown us here in Prince George, and I think we're going to be your guests for a little bit longer yet, until we get a little break from Mother Nature. So I'd encourage everybody to, if you want the official updates, just go ahead and look on the website. That's got all the information, and that's about all I can say for now is thanks, and stick with it.
Great. Thank you very much, John. So I know this evening, and I say it again, probably wanted to hear much more about Williams Lake, and unfortunately we're probably a couple hours away from being able to give any more information or an update. So we'll continue to work on that. We'll get that information out to everyone. Mark Ham, we will be in contact with again. I cannot reiterate strongly enough how important it is to have Mark with us, and we'll try to get him as soon as he is available. And so either late tomorrow night or definitely Monday. So I know Rob is working on that as this meeting continues. So we are in a position to house as many people as possible. People come to Prince George. We have the services, we have the accommodations, we have everything that's available. So with that, folks, if you have any questions, come on up. The entire team is here. Steve is here from NHA, CRD, Shirley, Todd, myself. Greatly appreciate it. I just want you to know that the services that we have and are able to provide continue to grow and grow each day. So take comfort in that. We'll continue to be able to have you here in our community for as long as it takes. Thank you very much, everyone. On your way out, there is information here from Northern Health that you may want to grab as well.